So, uh-oh. So this has been going the rounds, but last month, April 2024, a few weeks ago, at this point, the United States signed in the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. And because that is a mouthful, I decided to abbreviate it. So I will be referring to it from this point on throughout the video as PFACA. It was essentially an effective ban or forced sale of TikTok from its parent company ByteDance. And this was initially done due to concerns of potential user data collection and possibly influence operations by the Chinese government, or so they say. Now, let me ask you, were the influence operations effective? You tell me. Now, if I'm going to cut in and be serious, if you thought the previous videos that I just showed you were real, no, they were not. Anyway, PFACA bans social media networking apps within between 270 to 360 days if they were determined by the President of the United States and relevant provision to be foreign adversary controlled application, and seizes if the app is sold or is no longer considered by the President to be controlled by a foreign adversary of the United States. I just lost my voice. What is happening? There has been, obviously, heavy controversy. In part, the forced sale under the threat of a ban could violate the First Amendment. Now, instead of doing this, they should have created a bill to fight the collection of data, to prevent programs from requiring the need or just generally collecting certain pieces of data. Now, again, that is extremely difficult, and I don't blame anybody if it could take possibly years to effectively implement, but just getting a start at the ready and having something to build off of is more effective in the long run rather than possibly banning certain applications willy-nilly. Now, even though TikTok collects certain data, what about the other tech companies in the United States like Google and Meta or Facebook? They're doing the exact same thing. In part, the reason why this is happening could be that greed is just involved in this. Companies like Google and Meta pretty much do the same thing and can profit off of collecting and selling your data. Of course, Meta and Facebook have come under notorious scrutiny during the last decade, and especially in 2018 with the whole Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal. And who knows, maybe at some point in the future it will come to the point that America will be isolating the collective eyes that are used to track people exclusively within the country. It's like 1984. Should I be joking around in this video? Maybe not. Now, policy aside, in regards to TikTok, removing the app won't do anything. If anything, all it will do is just push the creators to different platforms. YouTube Shorts is already showing short-form content. Instagram Reels have always been there. One example we've seen of this before was when Vine shut down. All of the creators moved to YouTube and or Instagram, and if TikTok were to do the same, a new platform might just come up out of the blue. Now, who's to say that if the platform were to hypothetically get as popular or even more so than TikTok, will the same action be done to the app if it was not American, or if it was an enemy or on unfriendly terms with the United States? Most likely, another flag will pop up. And regardless, many videos filmed within a phone's vertical aspect ratio that lasts a few seconds that quickly grab your attention will always be present. Video creation methods popularized by TikTok have already begun to stay, so that format is pretty much irreversible. It's already been stamped within our general society. You can't escape it. That can also include the way that information is presented online. Because of the influence of TikTok, now to the younger generation, the way that information is provided is no longer behind possible biases from, say, for example, different news sources who lean on one side. Because it's all thrown at you at once, now it's just like this collective pothole of what's real and what's fake, but regardless, it's pretty much neutral in the grand scheme of things. And speaking of information, TikTok has arguably the highest outreach out of any social media platform, with its video formatting meant to provide information and create engagement with, in a few seconds to minutes, various facts and information can spread in seconds like a wildfire. Over 150 million Americans use this app. So that means that nearly 50% of the United States is aware of and uses this app, most likely daily. And because it's a social media platform, there is a very small filter as to what information is provided. With many different pieces being shown being of differing opinions, there seems to be very little bias if you compartmentalize what you are given and form your own opinion through facts. And I just want to give a big disclaimer, despite what I'm saying, I'm not fully defending TikTok. TikTok has an amazing algorithm, one where you can be given content from diverse subjects outside of your niche. However, from what I said before, of the way that short form content is being provided, it is also kind of detrimental. With how fast information is being thrown to a user in quick succession, each new video can satisfy your dopamine receptors. And in time, overexposure can shorten the attention span of an individual, and I've already talked about how detrimental these social media algorithms and formats are to developing children. What I'm trying to get at is, despite the flaws and possible misinformation, and the need for media literacy, which I constantly reiterate and we may come back to later, that unfiltered aspect where you can get news from many different sources is beneficial in helping to remove biases and one-sided arguments when it comes to the information being provided online. Remember when I said that 150 million people in the US use this platform? It's general social media, a form of advertisement, so a good percentage of people aren't just using this to indulge in their movie clips with electronic music playing in the background while that knife mobile game plays in the background. Many people use it for advertising as well. Bigger brands have utilized it to promote a product to a newer, younger audience. Because of TikTok's algorithm, local businesses use it to promote their stores. For one thing, if you turn on your location, videos of events going on in the area will be catered and shown to you. In fact, some small businesses have further flourished because of going viral. In fact, countless small businesses have been shown to thousands of eyes in comparison to a smaller number within their more esoteric community had they not utilized the platform. And this leads into another major issue, in that thousands of people rely on TikTok as a form of revenue, whether it be, as I mentioned before, through advertising or through monetizing their videos through live streams.
Oh my!
Now granted, TikTok could pay better, it could pay a lot better, but regardless, it is a general source of revenue. If you cut that off, based on an individual's circumstances, it could be detrimental to their financial situation. And although I said that creators will inevitably jump ship, this is still a rocky move that puts them in the red. For one, when you move platforms, even if it's on the same website, you lose a portion of your audience. Only a percentage of your audience will follow suit. In my second point, the way you build your audience on TikTok is much different from other platforms like Instagram and YouTube. Because of the algorithm providing you with different creators, it's very difficult to build a close connected fan base. Now, some people have built success on that, and since then they have either gone back and forth between, say, YouTube and Instagram and just built up a close connected community, but some people just choose not to do that. Many users may only follow a creator because they saw one or a few viral clips of funny moments or jokes, but because an individual goes through so many, that creator is mushed in with the thousands. If, for example, a creator were to get banned, the individual may recognize that name, or that individual may have forgotten that that creator had existed entirely. That is a similar case with other social media platforms, as I said before, but it is more precarious on TikTok. And as I mentioned before, comprehensive privacy legislation is an option, and it seems that many people have also brought up the same option to light, but to no avail. And I know I sound like a broken record, but there's a reason why I bring up media literacy so much. If one reason why they're worried is of possible propaganda, that's already muddied by the thousands of different opinions on the site. It all primarily comes down to critical thinking and forming your own opinions through what's been provided. There is literally so much here. There is an exceptional amount of stuff here. There's so much stuff here. I just wanted to make this video to make a general acknowledgement of the subject, even though this is a widely known subject at this point. And who knows, will this be a bill that will be overturned in the future in favor of a more favorable approach, like comprehensive privacy legislation? If done too late, however, the damage will have already been done. Let's hope that this doesn't evolve into anything more unappealing. But hey, net neutrality is back. So some steps are back in a more favorable direction. I've lost count, and I'm rambling. I forgot where I was going to go with this. I just wanted to say that, shortcomings aside, And despite my personal dislike for some of the ways in which the app is formatted, this app means so much to people. And if utilized in an effective way, much like any social media platform, it can be used to do good things. Or maybe I'm too idealistic. Anyway, see you in the next video.